Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny video. Today I want to discuss a topic I see asked about a lot on the Star Wars Destiny subreddit, the various Star Wars Destiny Facebook groups I'm in, and people that have just emailed me asking this question is, once you get one of the starter sets, where do you go from there? What do you do to get more into the game than just what the starter set can provide you? So let's say you've picked up a starter set, maybe either the Kylo starter set, the Rey starter set, the two-player starter set, or the Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker starter set. I always like to start with just picking up a second copy of two-player starter game. So with one copy, it's enough for you to get a feel for the game, feel how the game plays, how the mechanics work, um, and basically just how the game plays as a whole. You can expand it further by basically just picking up another two-player starter game. What this will do is it'll give you double copies of pretty much all the dice in the starter set. So you'll be able to run um, Rey at Elite, you'll be able to run Poe at Elite, be able to run Phasma and Kylo at Elite as well. And then you'll have a full set of all the dice. So in Star Wars Destiny, with the exception of the non-unique characters, two copies of any character are all you really need to play that character at Elite. However, if you want to do stuff with non-unique characters, you would have to just get as many of those non-uniques as you wanted to fill out a deck. So if you want to do like a Stormtrooper deck, you might need to get like 4 Stormtroopers or the First Order Stormtroopers. Or if you're doing battle droids, you would maybe need I think 5 battle droids and so on. So in Destiny, though, every upgrade, support, and like any kind of card you can have in the game, 2 is the most you can have of any one card in your deck. So if you pick up another two-player starter game, you'll have a full set of everything from the two-player starter game. And then again, you'll be able to build characters at Elite and all that. So, and even right out of the box with the two-player starter game, you'll have access to Elite Rey and Elite Poe, which you could pretty much start building one of the more popular decks. R2P2 is what it's called. You start building that right out of the two-player starter game. It won't be in a complete deck, but you can make your own variation of it just by using what's in the starter. So the next step I would always recommend with getting into Destiny is pick up another copy of the two-player starter game. If you want to go beyond that, I would also recommend picking up more of the regular starter sets too, either the Kylo and Rey or the Boba Fett and Luke starters. And we're going to be taking a look at those in just a moment. And another option on top of picking up another copy of the two-player starter is to also pick up 2 copies of each of the Boba Fett and Luke starters if you wanted. Each one of these is really a strong deck, which only gets stronger if you include another copy. So it's even better if you have 2. You'll get extra copies of Luke and extra copies of Boba Fett that you might not really need. But you also then get another veteran Stormtrooper. You get another Han die, so you can use Han Solo at Elite and pair Elite Han with Elite Luke if you wanted to. You get another copy of R2-D2, which is probably one of the strongest cards in the game right now, in my opinion. The R2-D2 from the Luke starter, which works really well in a lot of meta decks where you're chaining together specials, because R2-D2 special allows you to flip another die to a special, and then you can just go ahead and resolve that special. So another option is pick up another copy of each of these starters. I'm not really going to go into detail on the Rey and Kylo starters because those have been out for a while. Those will also be rotating out at the end of the year when the next cycle comes out after Legacies. But Legacies and the two-player starter game will be in standard for a while, as will these 2 starters. So these will be in standard for a while. The two-player starter game will be in standard for a while, as will the Legacies booster packs. On top of that, I would also just recommend picking up a handful of packs here and there just to get a variety of cards. So getting into Destiny and having it be fun is actually not as expensive as maybe getting into some other collectible games. I remember back when I first started getting into Magic, they only had starter sets and booster packs, and the starter sets weren't really great. Really didn't get a whole lot of land in those packs, and so on. And now companies are making better starter decks and better like entry level products. Destiny's done the same by offering a variety of really pretty good starters. I think the Luke and the Boba Fett starters are some of the best starters they've done. The Kylo and Rey starters were all right, but there was only really a couple of choice cards in there, like the Mind Probe and the Force Throw and stuff like that. I feel that the Luke and Boba Fett starter sets um, have cards that can actually be, um, used in meta decks that are fairly powerful. Stuff from the Kylo and Rey starter decks were good if you had like the right combination of stuff to use it with. So, like for example, you needed a holocron really to maybe consistently get out something like a Mind Probe or a Force Throw. It feels that they've increased the power on these cards and have made them just a little bit better than what we had in those starters. On top of that, we're going to start talking a little bit about the draft set as well, and we'll be right back with that. And the final thing I'm going to discuss as an entry point into Star Wars Destiny after picking up a starter or two is the Rivals draft set. So this will give you obviously more dice and more cards to use with decks that you're working on. It gives you neutral options as well, so you have the main characters in this set can be used in either hero or villain decks. So we have Anakin Skywalker, Lobot, and Ketsu. So one from each color, as well as the Jawa. So the Jawa is a gray neutral character. So you can use Anakin, Lobot, Ketsu, and the Jawa in either hero or villain decks. You also get some more weapon cards, some more events, and things like that. I think Hidden Motive is a really good card from this set, which I think might end up going into becoming like a very playable card. Just because either way, you're probably going to use it and end up ahead of what your opponent had. So Hidden Motive lets you choose a symbol showing on a die. Your opponent re-rolls it. If it rolls the same symbol, the die gets removed. And if it rolls something different, it was something that maybe is beneficial to you and maybe not so beneficial to them. So if they had it on damage and they roll it off to a blank, they get to keep that blank, but then that's damage that they can't do to you. If they roll the same symbol, that die just straight up gets removed. Another way this is a good entry point is you could basically buy this. It's a one-time purchase, so you buy the Rivals draft set, then go to a draft. Obviously, each time you go to a draft, you'll be purchasing 6 packs. So I know a lot of people aren't going to draft every time they play Destiny, but maybe like once or twice a month, maybe go out. You're going to be getting 6 packs. You're going to be drafting those packs with your play group. And then the way we do drafts at the store I play at is all the dice cards at the end of the tournament will go into a pool, and we'll pick those dice as prizes depending on how you place. We usually run like a little tournament. So like first place gets first pick, second place gets second pick, third place gets third pick, and so on. And then everybody will still end up with 6 cards and dice. And if you do it with a sealed box, everybody's going to be ending up generally with 1 legendary. Because let's say you do a sealed box with 6 people, all the legendaries are going to get opened. They'll be used in the tournament. They'll go into the prize pool at the end, and then everybody, depending on placement order, will choose 1 dice card. So usually, people are probably going to choose the legendaries first, and then choose the rares. You also just get to keep all the commons and uncommons that you open. So draft is a good way to kind of bolster your collection. You're getting a bunch of commons and uncommons, and you're still going to end up with generally 6 dice cards, possibly 1 legendary. I've passed on a couple legendaries in some drafts because it was legendaries that I had already had and didn't really need more of. And there was actually like a rare that I wanted more than one of the legendaries. But the Rivals draft set should be coming out tomorrow. Should be coming out Thursday the 15th. And there's some promo cards that are some stores are doing tournaments where they have some more Arabesh promos. I believe it's Ancient or Crafted Lightsaber. Wish it was Ancient Lightsaber, but Crafted Lightsaber, Targeted Computer, and I think Vibro Sword have the full art Arabesh promos. So just to kind of recap, for people that are wondering kind of where to go after you play a few games of Destiny, maybe you already picked up a starter, I would recommend again another copy of the 2-player starter game. get your Elite Ray and your Elite Poe out of that, as well as a playset of the rest of the cards and dice in that draft or in that two-player starter game. I would also recommend picking up either the Boba Fett or Luke Skywalker starter set, maybe two of each if you wanted to get play sets of everything. You will end up with couple extra Luke and couple extra Boba Fett dice. Maybe those you could be used for trading later on. But you'll then get Elite Han, and you'll get another veteran Stormtrooper. You'll have a full set of Millennium Falcons and Slave Ones, and all that kind of stuff. And then finally, the Rivals draft set, which lets you start building decks with neutral characters. So we have 3 or 4 neutral characters in the draft set. We have Ketsu, Lobot, Anakin, and the Jawa. And then there's also some decent cards in the set as well. So if you're wondering where a good kind of like jumping on point for Destiny is, or where a good spot to start with the game from is, any of these options will be good for you. Either the two-player starter game, the Luke and Boba Fett starters, the Rivals draft set, and if you can still find them, and maybe if they're on sale or something, the Kylo and Rey starters are still decent as well. However, if you are planning on playing competitively, playing in standard, just be aware that the Rey and Kylo starters will rotate out of standard sometime probably early next year. So after the next set comes out, those starters and cards from that set, from the Awakenings block in general, will be out of standard. Everything else will be anything that's in these white boxes, so the white and red, from the two-player starter game to Rivals, Legacies, and the next two supporting sets for Legacies, standard for quite a while, for about 2 years, I believe. That's going to do it for this video. If you have any more questions, just let me know in the comments below. As always, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Take care.